We're back.
Here we are, back again.
Yes.
All right, so what's been happening? What's new? What are we going to talk about today?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, not much is new with me.
Okay.
I've just been, busy. I went camping this week.
Oh, yeah.
So that's been fun. The weather was nice. So, yeah, that was
Awesome.
good.
Yes. Do you have any plans coming up next week? More camping? Or?
My family's in town for a few days, so I'm just going to hang out with them a bit. Just living it up.
All right. Right on.
Yeah.
Yes,
How about
and kind of more of the same. I've been, had some quite a few listing appointments over the last week.
Right.
Got some buyer clients coming in this weekend that want to look at some places. Yeah, so
Good.
lots of the usual going on, and so I got my new assistant, Karina.
How's that going?
Well, it's good. She's excellent, but the whole training thing or getting her to do stuff has been very much more challenging than I had thought it was. I was like, I'll get an assistant. She'll just come in and start doing stuff. Well, there's so many different programs that we use and all these little intricacies within what goes on. And that she doesn't know about unless I tell her. So
yeah, it's not simple.
so she's learning. It's taking longer, and I don't think there is any really a fast track to gaining that. But I am going to implement. This is what I'm trying. The camcorder method.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and that is recording the things that I'm doing, like screen recording when I'm when I'm doing certain tasks on the computer. I can turn on screen recording and talk while I'm doing it.
Right.
And then save that file, and then I can just send it to her, and then she can follow through the steps that I've done. I think that is going to be very useful because there's a lot of things that I do that I just do and that she could be doing, but in order for me to take the time to show her, it's going to take twice as long, and then she's going to have questions, and then with doing the recording, and she can go back, rewind, right, rather than sitting there and trying to keep up with what I'm doing.
For sure.
Right? So.
Yeah, you just got to do it. Find some time.
Well, no, I just need to turn on. So what I have her actually researching right now is different, I don't know if it's apps or ways to do the screen recording so that it records the screen, also records the talking.
Okay.
And maybe records me too. I don't know how that works, but we'll see.
Yeah.
That's going to be over the next few days. That is definitely a task. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's going to be over the next few days. That is definitely a task. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about consuming content versus creating content.
I like this topic.
And I do consume content, right? I think a lot of people do, but a lot of people just consume for the purpose of entertainment or consumption, right?
Yeah.
And time goes by, but it's like the consumer of the content is like the customer, and the creator of the content is like the business owner. So they're getting paid for. So I want to be creating more than consuming.
Yeah.
And which is it's what we're doing right now. But get on that side of creating content, being more visible, getting in front of more people.
Yeah.
Because the nice thing with creating this kind of content is like the one-to-many, where we can create one video or one piece of content and then many people can see it.
Yeah.
It can affect many people. So versus as an individual, it's like one-to-one all the time, right? It's like making phone calls or going to meeting with people is one-to-one. So it's definitely an evolution, and I'm glad that we started when we did. Yeah. Because I think we are getting better, but it's a huge
takes
learning.
Time. People quit before they start seeing results.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I was looking into a program, and one of their requirements were it was don't contact us until you've done at least 20 either podcasts or
Right.
like video recordings.
Well, I think this is our 20th
Oh, really?
episode, I'm pretty sure.
Well, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
We are getting there.
Yeah, because most people quit after 3 or 4.
Totally, yeah.
And there's really no growth at that point.
And that's happened to us too. Like we have done little.
We've tried different things.
Yeah, and then we've gone to but I don't think we ever did more than 5. So this is our most consistent thing that we've done. So that's good.
Yeah, and this seems good. I mean, it works for us. It's just conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's definitely a focus. But I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and it was on this creating content, and one of the recommendations was to create 2 pieces of content per day, like do 2 new recordings of something, whatever that is. Create something new, like 2 pieces daily, and post them. And so, because getting comfortable and getting confident in being on camera, as well as being able to deliver a message and getting the feedback back is what causes you to get better and growth, like versus say doing 1 or 2 pieces a week to do 2 a day. So I don't know how I'm going to do that, or if that is something that I am going to actually do. I think it would be a good idea to do that.
Yeah.
But and different, not just a posting a story or something that
like
doesn't
actual,
count. It needs to be like
a reel, like a
something.
Yeah.
But which then leads me into there's all these different like coaching and training and groups, and some of them the price of entry financially is quite high.
Yeah.
And there's an opportunity to go into a group, and however, I'm on the fence because part of me says the only way to grow is to learn from others.
Yeah.
And then the other side of me is like, well, is because there's a lot of programs out there that aren't that great.
Totally.
But they still come up, they have big promises, and then so this is overpromise and underdeliver.
Totally.
And I've been part of some groups like that before. And so it's really hard because a lot of them have it's upfront costs. You pay for the whole thing, and then it like fizzles out, and you don't do anything, and it's just like every other thing that just sits on a shelf and collects dust, right? So how do you know?
I don't know. It's hard. Like, especially if you have to pay upfront.
Yeah, how do you vet it?
How are you supposed to know that it's going to work?
Well, and then there's always testimonials and reviews that sound great, right?
Yeah.
People saying, "Oh yeah, this worked and did wonders for me."
Yeah.
But how do you really know?
I don't know. Do you get like a preview of what exactly you're getting in the course, or do they not really?
Yeah,
Does it seem worth it to you?
Well, on the surface, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, but they always do on the surface, right? And so
I know it's hard.
Is it just a really good sales pitch and then not followed up by substance?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, everyone's trying to just sell something.
Yeah. And the other thing is that whenever there's a cost to something, I think we're more likely to invest the time and energy to follow through with it or try to get something back out of it, right? When there's a cost. Now, with this one particular program, you pay for the whole thing up front for the whole year. So the problem with that is that there's not like a recurring payment that is like a reminder.
Yeah, you pay it once and then you could forget.
Yeah, 2 months could go by and be like, on to the next, right? They got their money.
Yeah.
And then I'm not, because it's hard to like that, bridging that gap between knowing something and doing it, right? And really a lot of what is in the program to say, well, I already know that stuff. I already know that I'm supposed to be doing these things.
I know it, yeah.
Right? So just knowing, but then it's like just knowing it obviously isn't enough. But
yeah, like are you the right fit for the program?
Yeah, so I don't know on that. It's tough to make a decision on that. But I do know that like surrounding yourself with people that have done the things that you want to do, that's the way to learn, right? Like we were talking last week, or taking advice from somebody that's maybe just done something once and then they're giving you advice. Well, that's not the same as somebody who's done it 100 times or 1,000 times, right?
Totally.
So to be able to, and it's hard to get that exposure, especially in a smaller community. And when it comes to all of the innovation, and a part of this program is going into like the AI side and having these call them chatbots, and so they will actually interact with people through social media. And
Do you trust that?
Well, I don't know. It's the new thing.
Yikes. Okay.
So if you, like, just say you're watching a piece of content and it says, hey, if you'd like to learn more about this, go into send me a message, right? DM.
Yeah.
And type in there more info. So you type that in, it goes to me, and then it automatically, that word that they requested,
I've seen that actually.
Automatically starts a chatbot up.
Do you like when you know you're talking to a chatbot?
Some of them are pretty good. Like some of them you're like, maybe it is a person, right?
Yeah.
But when the true tell that I've seen that when you know that it's like a chat bot, they're an AI that's doing it, is if you don't respond right away, it usually kind of says the same thing, like, hey, are you still there? And you're like, well, obviously a person on the other side isn't just sitting there this whole time waiting, or it's like, did I get ghosted here?
Yeah, so how does that make you feel knowing you're talking to a robot?
But at the same time, I'm like, if that can deliver the content to me that I need, then does it really matter?
I guess.
I don't know, but it's a sales thing. So then through my business, like if that's a way, if we're creating content that's getting put out there and then it's able to engage, at least take the first steps with people, it's like leveraging a sales force to help.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that is the direction where things are going for sure on that side. But you can tell when it's not real.
Yeah, I personally don't like when I'm talking to a chatbot.
But I don't always have time to respond to people or like.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
I get it. But also, you just hired an assistant, so technically later on she should be doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
But at the same time, like, what if somebody, like, because when a lot of people are consuming content, maybe it's in the evenings, right? And so if someone wants to go down the rabbit hole to learn whatever, and they start asking questions, then is it more likely to turn into a customer if, rather than following up with them the next day, right?
I guess.
But that's up for debate. I don't know. Time will tell whether that.
Yeah.
I think there's obviously no replacement for a face-to-face, but it's like taking the preliminary steps prior to the face-to-face. If that could create more face-to-face meetings, then
I get it.
That is the goal. It's not to replace the whole system or the whole process, but it's to get the start going.
Yeah.
I guess.
I get that. Yeah, I guess we'll see.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of on the fence on getting into another program. I haven't been doing anything, and like that was one of the things that I really liked about 75 Hard was there was no cost to it. Yeah. And the program itself is simple. You just have to do the work.
Yeah.
Right? So and same thing with this other. It's kind of like I know what I need to be doing in order to get to this next level. At least I know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like do you really need a course and pay all this money for someone to tell you what you already know?
Well, that's on one side for sure.
Yeah.
Is that the ice
machine?
It
is.
Okay. The ice machine's making some noise. But you don't know what you don't know. And so having somebody else being able to give some guidance and direction and speak, especially if they're operating at a higher level, then I think there's value in that. The problem, and especially in the real estate world, a lot of the coaches and trainers that are out there are people that are very good at presenting information, but most of them haven't been in the trenches actually selling real estate. So,
True.
And do they create results? Like do you want to pay somebody? It's like, I'd rather be the person getting paid than I'd rather be the one receiving payment than the one giving payment.
Totally.
Right? So that was kind of what yesterday I was like, well, what should I create so that people are paying me rather than me paying somebody else?
Totally.
Like, I want to be that person, not the other way around. Mm-hmm. But then, do I need somebody to coach me to be that person?
I think you're pretty smart.
Well, thank you, but
I feel like you could do it.
Well, but it's sometimes you need a little push, right?
No,
some
I
guys
get
to
that.
say some accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other, like, focused energy on things that actually produce tangible results. Mm-hmm. There's so many tasks in a day that fill up time that maybe aren't that necessary for me to do or somebody else can do, but then they're not that difficult, but they add up to be taking a lot of time. That's really hard for me to get through.
Right.
And I've set everything up to be more independent that way, or that I can just do it and I can do it all remotely and everything, basically access everything through my phone.
Yeah.
So I don't need somebody else, but clearly having somebody else take on.
Mm-hmm. It'll pay off eventually.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, it's just like,
takes time.
Yeah, it's like these videos. It would be like me having the expectation that I could record a video and then go edit the video and then post the video while still doing everything else. Like that's like a full-time job in itself. Yeah. So I've been able to do it on that side. So I'll do it on this side, but
it's hard.
But do you stay in your lane with your expertise? Is like, if you're really good at this, just do that, get other people, or do you learn those other things as well?
I think it depends, because your situation is like, yes, you have me to like help edit stuff and like post things, but also at the same time, like, it's your account that we're trying to grow. So there's some things that I feel like you need to learn, or it's good that you've learned to do, because people know that it's coming from you.
It's more authentic that way.
Definitely.
It's like not a chat bot kind of thing, or not somebody else.
Yeah. So I think it's good. Like, I think there's a bit of a balance. Like, there's certain things that, I can obviously, we can shoot and then I edit and I post it. But then there's also some things that like people want to see that you've posted and you're talking about. And so I think it's a balance for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely once things kind of settle with the assistant.
Will they settle?
Well, we're hoping. We're praying. Hopefully after that we can start to, add more things onto what we're already doing. Like right now we're just staying super consistent in everything that we're doing. But I think once, you're able to take on a little bit more and you haven't been teaching every single thing, we'll be able to start adding stuff. And building.
The one thing actually that I've noticed, so because it's difficult and it's challenging, very few people are able to do it.
Yeah.
Right? So the good thing about doing these hard things, or like creating this content, like it's challenging. It takes time, energy, effort. You have to do it. You got to see yourself on camera. It's ridiculous.
But like, look at how far you've come though, from like the first video that we posted when we started your account back up, and you were so uncomfortable on camera. You couldn't even look at the camera.
No.
You had a script. We had to write down everything you were going to say because you couldn't. And now look at you.
Yeah, just talk.
It takes time.
Yeah. But I think
cool.
Actually that'll lead me to my Wednesday wisdom. My Wednesday wisdom is the benefit of doing the hard things is that there's no the benefit of doing the hard things is that there's very limited competition in that realm, because so few people can do it, and if they can do it, they lack the consistency.
Yeah.
So do the hard things, and I don't know how I want to say this, but by doing hard things, you have less competition, I guess, right?
Definitely.
Because you're operating in a space where very few people are able to compete or even operate in. So, right?
It pays off.
Yes.
Definitely.
So that's Wednesday wisdom.
All right.
Yes. Do the hard things. because not
many people are doing them.
Nobody else is, right?
Yeah.
And it's noticeable, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, well, that's all I got.
That's all she wrote.
All right. Okay, well, thanks again for watching, and thanks, Harmony. Yes, we'll be back.